I don't care if you've been going 100v1 with a silverback all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and the Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Prodigy, coming to you live and direct from the Vista. Smoke me out, family, all the Dank, the Dank. On my left, returning, the oldest ninja in the world, old ninja.
So tomorrow, it's going to be May.
All right, engineering on the ones or twos. Chuck, we've out on the threes and post chronos.
I'm just saying, I can tell when somebody uses MS Paint to put characters on somebody else's knuckles. It's very obvious to me. Apparently, if you're, I don't know, a boomer or older, it's like magical stuff where you think it's real. You also can't tell when AI images are real or not. Like, I don't know, maybe you shouldn't hold power if you can't tell, I don't know, sans serif on somebody's knuckles. Nobody gets sans serifs as, a tattoo. That's all I gotta say.
Are you telling me all these Muppet memes aren't real as well? Like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
No.
Muppet memes? What the fuck?
You haven't seen the Muppets?
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yes, I've seen them. They're everywhere. But like memes, I'm just like, what? Because they're usually just pictures of real stuff turned into puppets.
Mm-hmm.
It is, but it's just trained AI to like basically just take over all of our nostalgia and make it into TV shows, AI generated nostalgic shows for the old people that obviously can't tell real life from AI stuff.
Yep,
they're getting better with the fingers. I give them that, but
and the teeth. Don't forget that, because some of them motherfuckers had extra rows just like last year.
Yeah, getting like
fucking
shark teeth. Yeah, it's all good though. This previous generations, and even like technically I'm a Gen Xer, but I'm like the youngest, probably Gen Xer out there, one of the youngest. It's getting some of us too, of like just they can't tell reality from, the fake stuff. Yeah.
If it's online, it's got to be true.
Yeah. I mean, it really explains why this latest person got. Oh, sorry, I got some soju to drink.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you're living dangerously on the cast. I like it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, people that can't tell reality from, not reality are the same folks that voted for, that guy. That also can't tell reality from not reality. I couldn't believe that happened on live TV. I was like, what happened? What is that amendment called? The 22nd or something like that? We're like,
I don't know.
This person is not fit if he couldn't tell that, like, they put MS-13 on this dude's knuckles.
Well, like... The host tried to give him an out. He was like, let's just move on. He was like, no.
I'm definitely right. Like, but there's photos of this guy afterwards from CCOT in El Salvador, and there's not on his knuckles. And he's like, no, it's real. No, it's not.
Mm-mm.
If you think it's real, like, you're one of the most gullible people I've ever met. Also, you should buy some snake oil. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he says this is why the people don't trust the media.
Yeah,
because they tell him no.
Look, I went to the most beautiful beach of my life. It was in Idaho, but it was a beautiful beach.
Yes, in Idaho.
Oh my God!
Oh man,
come on now.
Damn.
Miles of ocean. Believe me,
straight up ocean. I saw the whales. You know what I'm saying?
The best is someone tried. They weren't trying to tell a project, but he was on this. This was like 2-3 years ago. Someone posted on then Twitter, what was it? Coastal beachfront property in Sacramento. It's like people sleep on Sacramento. Like, you don't understand how beautiful it is here. And Prodigy got into the argument with the posters out that ain't Sacramento. And it's like, you don't know, you're just a hater. I'll do. I should move there. And it was like, it was like pages. I'm just reading. I put myself in it so I can keep up with the pack. It was so funny because the pictures were of Italy. Clearly, and he's all saying this is Sacramento. Mom, this Sacramento, the closest water to Sacramento is the river, and there's a ferry boat on there. It was so funny. I was laughing.
They're part of the 76 million clearly dumbasses out there. Mm-hmm. Clearly dumbasses, but they don't know left from right, up from down. The people that don't watch below their knees. You know what I mean? It's just like,
Oh, that
dusty ass, dry ass skin. Just
I got to beat the MTI question for later. I'm gonna put it in the notes right now. It's so crazy. I'm gonna save it because if y'all can read it, I gotta drop this on y'all later.
Yeah, save it.
I'm gonna save it. It's literally pertaining to what Cronus just said.
Yeah. Real quick before we get to like the actual, before you do your part of Ninja, which is coming up right now, but happy birthday to Blue.
Yes,
So that's why he's not here, if you're wondering.
Yes.
He's
And
living it up.
to our affiliate, Bovine Divine. It's also his birthday too. So he's on Twitch. He shouts us out at least twice every 2 weeks. So he's a good
Nice.
streamer. He streams retro games. So I reached out to him earlier today, but his birthday's today too.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Right on. Okay. First, damn, we started off.
Did people die?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got.
I mean,
about the chat,
America continues to die. Oh, the fact things. Okay. User Doogsy. All right, that's the person's name on here.
All right.
So thank you very much for watching. And first in the chat would be Brandon Park. Thank you once again for watching. He's been a frequent live stream viewer for a while now. So thank you.
Yeah, he's been even watching me Twitch.
Super
I was
solid.
switching out South Midnight, and he was been in the chat. He's like the first one in the chat.
Nice.
Good
So,
shit.
shout out to Brandon Park.
I think I'll get on
Great
Twitch
game,
when Borderlands 4 comes out. I think I'll actually start like gaming online again with people that I can trust. And not a bunch of 11-year-olds that call me the N-word. You know what I mean? It's like,
Bro, just mute the chat. That's what we do. Or start a party with yourself. That way you don't hear nobody.
yeah,
That's what we do.
It's annoying.
Yeah, it is annoying, but I've had some pretty, like, it's been pretty clear, or not clear. It's been pretty calm recently until a few weeks ago. This kid, he probably was like 10 or 11, and some guy was like, hey teammates, this and that, like, let's try to do this, guys. Let's try to be here to get on the thing. And some dude, he just went off on this kid. He called him the N-word with the hard R. He's like calling him like he did his mom and stuff like that. And the guy's like, why are you yelling at me? He's like doing this. Like the guy could have been using a voice changer, but he was very respectful. And this guy came at him like he like hated him. It was very, very disconcerting.
Yeah, this is America, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the online, I will say this, back in the 360 days on Halo and in them chats, those are not for the weak.
Well, that's what was weird to me. So like, when I came from the PC world, right? And that didn't really happen in the PC world, but also there was way less voice chat. But like once the console started getting online with like first person shooters, it was like, oh man, it was like the entire clan was on there.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, man.
Yep.
It was what it was. I will say this.
Hold on, I got to give a shout out real quick. We got a super chat from a Mile High Blurred, so I'll read what he said for the super chat. Appreciate the cast. After a long ass day, there was a stabbing at my son's school. God damn. My daughter's school was on lockdown because of a shooting in the area. That's crazy. Also, I didn't know that Mile High Blurred had more than one kid.
No, I didn't know. I didn't think he knew any kid. The only one who verified that he's real is Prodigy.
I met him. He's real, and he's a legit dude. So that's terrible, actually. But I'm glad everybody's safe. And as you probably have already heard from other people from our community, stay safe out there, black man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this: in these days, stay dangerous, because look,
dangerous to get you shot.
Look, you got to be a little dangerous out here, because it's wild.
You only need to be dangerous with the Queen of Spades like tied up in your bed. That's better.
They are the most dangerous out there. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but
I think if you look up if you look up actual body counts, like who killed more people, Queen of Spades have definitely killed more black men than black men have killed Queen of Spades. So indirectly or directly.
Like I said, if they're chained to the bed, you have less. The danger goes down.
You're gonna get caught up, old ninja. You too old for this.
Yeah. Hey, learn from fucking Shannon Sharp. All right, learn from Shannon Sharp.
So I know you all talked about this, but I'm pretty sure that girl is not white. I'm pretty sure she's Hispanic.
She is white passing though, bro, and she's way too young for that.
Passing, but I'm pretty she's 22.
So I'm gonna remind everybody this: just like there are Afro Latinos, there are also white Latinos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
People like to forget both of those things, but regardless, that is
irregardless.
Irregardless. I'm gonna make up words. Irregardless.
Wow.
That's the audacity of what happened to Shannon Sharp. Also, I mean, it's his own doing. I mean,
Yeah, don't.
Somebody said if you lay down with dogs, don't be surprised if you catch fleas. So I'm not calling her a dog, but I mean, come on, man. You're like literally double her age. Like
Double. He's damn
more.
almost. He's more than double her age.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just there's some people you don't need to just trust on GP. Like anyway,
Hey, Monique tried to save him. I'm not a big fan of Monique, but I mean, she spoke straight up facts.
She did.
Like you need to find some love, you old motherfucker. Like for real, find some love.
I mean,
like
for a dude that's 56 currently, as of May 20 or April 2025, he's probably still got about like 8% body fat, and he'll be 57 in June.
Yeah, he needs a Megan Good. I'm just saying.
All that's great.
Clarissa Scott King.
Jonathan Majors.
Make some better decisions. Okay, hold on. Who died? Old Ninja. Goddamn.
So this one goes out to Prodigy. We're gonna pour out some. We'll pour out some cyanides for this one. This is for Jiggly Caliente. She's a drag performer. Hold on. Drag performer who went by Bianca Castro Abriejo, who rose to prominence after completing the 4th season of RuPaul's Drag Race and the 6th season of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars. She had a recurring role on the TV show Pose as Veronica Ferocity. She had an album out called Thought Process, spelled THOT, in 2018. And April 24th, a few days ago, her family had said that she had her right leg had been amputated due to a severe infection. 4 days later, she died. She died 3 days later at the age of 44.
God damn, that's young.
That's terrible. Also, Ninja, I just gotta say, tu español es muy malísimo.
So she's not Hispanic. She is.
But you tried to say her last name, and it was just like
I know her last name is Arabejo. So
okay,
but she's Filipino. But R.I.P. to her. The next up, we have Priscilla Pointer, mother to Amy Irving. She was a Broadway starlet in the late 40s. She's the former mother-in-law to Steven Spielberg. Her most famous role was probably a guest starring role on the TV show Dallas as Rebecca Barnes Wentworth from the 4th season all the way to the 6th season. But she has also starred in films such as Carrie, Mommy Dearest, Twilight Zone the movie, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, and the late David Lynch's Blue Velvet. Her son, David Irving, is a director, and one of her daughters, obviously Amy Irving, is also an actress who married Steven Spielberg back in the 80s. She died at the age of 100, 19 days before she was to turn 101.
God damn.
There we go.
And she was in Debbie Does Dallas? God damn.
No, she's in the TV show Dallas.
I'm sorry. I heard what I was.
Oh my God.
My bad.
You got all excited with Jiggly Caliente. You thinking Debbie Does Dallas? Just so yeah.
That's it?
That's it for what I got.
All right. Back up in this motherfucker. There's a lot to get to. Where do you actually? Older, you were.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no. I'm sorry. I'm missing one.
What you got?
So, R.I.P. to the late, also Filipino Canadian festival people who lost their lives when a car lost control and drove through. 9 people had died during this tragedy. This was a few days ago. This was on Sunday, I believe.
You said a Filipino Canadian festival?
Yes, there are Filipinos in Canada.
Okay.
So,
okay. Cool. All right. Olden, you weren't on last week. Where you want to start? God damn it.
I wanted to wait because we don't have Blue, but I know Kronos is itching about this. I mean, do you want to save it, or you want to just hit it?
Hit it
on Sinners.
Hit
All
it.
right. So every single one of us.
Hey, we gonna hit it like Michael A. Jordan hit Haley Stanfield. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Not Michael A. Jordan. That's the newest, greatest actor of all time. I'm just saying.
What's that?
So all of us on the cast, including Stitch and Blue, have seen Sinners, which came out. Was it last week? Last weekend?
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Has it been 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it has been 2 weeks. Yes, right. So it was like, there's been all kinds of weird publicity about this movie, about how it came number 1, but they're like trying to diss how much it made, and then it like became number 1 again the second week with a very few drop off.
10% drop. 10%
Yeah,
drop.
which is the lowest drop for not the lowest, but
It's a very low
very
drop.
It's one
very
of the
rarely.
Yeah.
Yeah, very few movies have like a drop that small in their second week.
You know what's funny is that I wanted to give a contrast on like the amount of shit that was talked about Sinners and like trying to downplay the accomplishments of that movie, and then you see The Accountant 2, where like hardly anybody talked any shit about this movie at all, and it fucking bombed at the box office. It fucking
So that's gonna
Wars
be my
outdid it.
caveat later.
Yeah.
Oh damn it! You already did.
Yeah,
You already did it. Yeah.
Star Wars outdid
Yeah,
it.
the re-release of Revenge of the Sith, the 20th anniversary, made more money than The Accountant 2 with Ben Affleck and John Bernthal. That's crazy. It made 30 million, or depending on who you read, it made between 30 and 44 million worldwide, and like The Accountant 2 made like 9 million.
Yeah, like nothing. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I mean, at this point, I mean, Ben Affleck is, he should be considered to be a bigger actor than Michael B. Jordan. Should be. And this is a sequel of a movie that was pretty successful. It wasn't a fucking box office like slam, it wasn't a blockbuster or anything, but it made money, But I do love the fact that an original film by a mainly black cast and by a black director is killing it right now. And it's not, don't get me wrong, it's not like the biggest movie ever. Like it's not crushing numbers, but it's doing really, really well, especially for an R-rated movie they call it horror, but to me it's more of like a thriller because there's like some horror elements in there. You know what I mean? But I think saying it's like a straight horror movie, first of all, detracts from people that want to go see it because it's not really that horror-like. Like there's some fucked up shit in there, but
I will say it being categorized as a horror movie kind of tracks because if you watch the film, it's reminiscent of From Dusk Till Dawn. Because when you watch From Dusk Till Dawn, it doesn't start out the way it is, and then all of a sudden becomes a vampire movie where it's hella gore and blood and shit later on.
But it's not even like this. It's not that. I mean, there's gore, but it's not like Saw. Like Saw is a horror movie.
Saw, but just like From Dusk Till Dawn, it starts out one way and ends up another with lots of blood.
I don't even consider Saw From Dusk Till Dawn a horror movie.
But it is considered a horror movie.
What say you, Prodigy? Am I on the wrong here?
I think that I mentioned this last week. It's not an issue with Sinners, but the problem is it doesn't fit neatly into very many or one single category.
Yeah,
it's a genre blending movie. Like there are times when it felt like almost a musical. There definitely times.
Oh man, that was a great scene, by the way.
Yeah, I mean there are vampires. That's not it's not too bad of a spoiler, but and we are going to go into spoilers. But there are vampires. There are some scenes with blood and biting of vampires.
And there's some fucking. All right, there's some fucking.
So it deserves our rating, but it could go thriller, it could go horror, it could go almost musical. Like it literally belongs in its own kind of genre or a combination of all of those things. So nobody's wrong on that.
But you know what it definitely is? It's a black as fuck movie, is what it is.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. For sure. Old Ninja, I mean, Kronos and I went into some non-spoiler details last week, and for those of you who haven't seen it, who are in chat and listen to us now, you should already have fucking seen it. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
And if you can, I said it before, watch it in IMAX. I actually had to look up if the one that was nearest to us that I thought was a real IMAX was a real IMAX. It is not.
Oh.
The nearest real IMAX to us is actually in Irvine, where I used to live. And that's the nearest real one. And so I was thinking about actually going to go watch it on Saturday, but that's when Thunderbolt drops, and IMAX is going to be all Thunderbolt stuff. So I missed my window.
Okay.
Actually, that drops technically tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if it's slow at my job, I might see it tomorrow night. Probably not. Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Back to Sinners.
Yeah. So back to Sinners. Yeah, I was when I saw the film, I was just like, I was expecting it to kind of jump off and be vampires from the almost from the get-go.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like that. It became it was like a whole different vibe, because it was like, everything was about these two brothers, identical brothers, who left their little podunk town to go to Chicago, and all of a sudden they come back and everyone's all surprised that they're back and stuff. And they got money, They got all kinds of money, and people
Ben
are like,
had
"Where'd you get this money from?"
Ben had money.
Well, didn't
Yeah.
Ben had they
No, it wasn't Ben.
they technically acquired money.
Yeah, they had to acquire money,
So
and
and
so the funky thing is they acquired money through illegal ways, and then
ill-gotten
they
means.
reinvested their money into their hometown
Yeah.
by opening up a club. So I was like, what the fuck? I mean, it's cool, but it's just still kind of weird. Like it wasn't like they just did like a nickel a dime like robbing stores. They robbed like big like syndicates and mob families and like big organizations. So they came with money.
Yeah.
So but they got enough to get out. It was crazy because like we start out in a church, like a really old, like what state are they in, Alabama or Mississippi or something?
It's somewhere in the South. I want to say Mississippi, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But I'm
Mississippi
like,
Delta.
Yeah.
Mississippi Delta.
yeah. So they're in this old Mississippi Baptist church, where there's like no air conditioning. It's all just wood and like in the hot, and they're like, singing and stuff. And like, we see like this guy comes in, his face is all ravaged and face all cut up. And,
Hold on, let's rewind a little bit because there's a very important part of this that you kind of miss in the very beginning. At the very beginning of the movie, it tells you one day before, and then you see this guy roll up, and he looks totally normal at first, and then all of a sudden you're seeing details. I'm like, oh shit, this guy had a very rough day.
Yeah,
and
yeah. Like, with a busted ass guitar, and so you're wondering what the fuck happened, and then like you see him like flashes of like what probably happened the night before, or most likely happened, with like images of blood and people screaming and running and fire, and then like it cuts to the day before, and it's like, oh shit, and the two brothers run town, people are talking, they got money to spend. The one thing I really liked specifically is that they don't Ryan Coogler does not like just make this movie black and white. He showed that there were Asian people in the South. Now, some of you may not know or are wondering, like, why are there Asian people in the South? Well,
making them
back
railroads.
in the 1800s, we needed railroads to connect the major cities together. And a lot of those people were Asian men who had their families go with them. So most of the time it was just them. A lot of those men died making these railroads, and they were buried underneath the tracks. And so he managed to get his family. This one family was in the South. They had their own convenience store, and they had done dealings with the two brothers. So they came to them, and like they came to them for the hookup. So I was like, oh shit, they have like some Asian families in the South. Great.
Real quick, not to interject, but there is a Chinese family with a daughter, and what's really important about their story is
whether they're Chinese or Korean. I could have sworn they said they were Korean.
I thought they were Chinese, but maybe
it could have been. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, I could be wrong though. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll double check.
I was pretty sure they were Chinese, but yeah.
I thought so too, but I could have sworn the daughter said they're Korean.
Okay, we'll double check. We'll double check. But here's what I found important that it went over some people's heads. They sold during Jim Crow, Mississippi and the Delta, to black folks, obviously with their store, but they had another store that sold to non-black folks.
Yeah.
So they were straddling that line between like Jim Crow segregation of we can sell over here, we can't sell there, we can sell, that whole line was very, very clear, and some people blinked and missed that shit. I'm like, oh, well, then you clearly don't know about the time period and what was going on.
Well, yeah, it's also, let's be clear though, like at the time, this is like post the Chinese Exclusionary Act. So any Chinese American that was here had to really tiptoe around like a lot of racist shit and like who to sell to, who not to sell to. So yeah, let's not gloss over the fact that Chinese folks back in the day, they got fucked over pretty hard too. So,
I'm not discrediting that at all. I'm just saying that for the whole there were two stores.
There were.
Yeah,
and there was like a whole lot of like, what the fuck is that? Red Dead Redemption type black market shit, because they were talking about a fence and like all this illegal like stuff, like how to like basically pawn off kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're a general store. Yeah,
there were a general store, but they were trying to fence some stuff that the two brothers had. Like he talked to the owner like, hey, what can I get for this? Also, they mentioned about Prohibition because this is after Prohibition. I think the brothers were there during Prohibition that had just ended. They bought a lot of alcohol for their club, which was like a big fucking thing. So it was after
Prohibition
Prohibition.
was later.
Prohibition was over. It was over. So, but it was a thing.
You keep going. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I
back
thought
to-
Prohibition was later.
I could have sworn it was just after Prohibition, but
Was
still,
maybe I was wrong. I mean,
they do talk about it, but it wasn't. It was just like a little footnote. It wasn't like a huge focus. It wasn't like stopping them from opening the club. But the thing was, they were doing some stuff like it felt like.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. So Prohibition was 13 years. Jesus Christ. So it was 1920 to 1933.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So, and it was I don't know how long after, but they mentioned about Prohibition was being over, so they wanted to buy liquor for this club they want to make in their town, and it was kind of crazy because they knew the hookup, they knew where to go because they were doing bad shit in their old town. It wasn't as if they ran out, but it was like they had to get out, or else they were going to be shot up, or I guess they were looking for maybe another opportunity to get money, basically. So it was like pretty interesting to see how they're trying to get their business off the ground, just with like this like blood money in a way, and like they're making their reconnections. So like we see the one actress that everyone keeps talking about, and that's Haley Steinfeld, coming off the boat, or no, she wasn't off the boat. She's going to the train station, running into was it Stack or Smoke, one of the twins,
I mean,
and she comes in with
Michael
this
A.
line.
Jordan.
She comes in with this line that people cannot get their mind off of. Apparently, everyone thought she's leaving Josh Allen because she's talking to Michael A. Jordan that he stuck his tongue in her coos and then fucked her till she like passed out. Everyone like lost their minds over that shit. I was like, God, dang, wow, shit.
It set the mood.
So I mean, we learned a few things. Like we learned that her character like knew both the brothers. That she knew what they were both into. She's obviously had a crush or a relationship with A. Jordan or whatnot. So it was just like, okay, but he's like trying to keep her away. Like they're trying to do a club, like shit. What they call them?
Wait, hold up, man.
They were like,
you glossed it over like some really important stuff here that was really crucial for the whole thing with Haley. I think her name was Mary on the movie. So at the train station,
She didn't talk about her heritage until she's at the club.
Well, but hold on. That doesn't
too,
even matter, man.
Yeah.
Haley at the train station is staring at Preacher Boy and one of the twins, and Preacher Boy is like, holy fuck, this white woman is staring, and he's like looking away and whispering it like, this is dangerous as fuck. We out in public. Like, it's scary as all fuck because this white woman is staring at black men in public. And regardless of ethnicity or anything, like that was enough right then and there to get the entire town lynched and killed.
Yeah.
Like, that was the deal. That was like in the subtext of the conversation. Regardless of everything, Octoroon stuff. Nah, just her at the train station. Just her at the train station looking at them.
Bro, you said fucking Octoroon. That's hilarious.
That's what was in the movie.
Well, I think a lot of folks that are probably not black probably didn't pick up on that. Of like back in the day, like you couldn't just be like, well, I mean you could, but then you get them killed. That's why I talked about it before in podcasts. Is like white women have definitely killed indirectly or directly more black men than the other way around. So there's been a whole bunch of white chicks from back in the day that just somebody looked at them the wrong way. They just didn't like them, and they're like, "Oh, they raped me," and all of a sudden, guess what? They're fucking shot up, dead. Even their fucking children.
Wait, hold on. Just a side. So in a lot of cases, it wasn't like they raped me. It was like he looked at me. That was enough to send a mob to your house.
All of the above is true, but I'm just saying back to Sinners. When she was on that train, she was already reckless and everybody was in jeopardy, and Preacher Boy spoke on it. And then either Stack or Smoke, one of them, was like, keep your fucking voice down.
Yeah.
Like, you out here truly living dangerously and being reckless with it.
So I got that, but what I also kind of picked up on, like, we're in a small town, everybody knows each other. Most of the town was predominantly black, and so no one like really. So they knew who she was. The Stack brother, the Smoking Stack, they didn't know, they didn't recognize. Well, one of them knew. The preacher boy didn't recognize her. He didn't know that everybody knew her. They
Well,
knew who she
he was too young.
Yeah, he was young, and she had just buried her mother,
Yeah.
and a lot of the town folk had already went, so they knew who she was. He didn't. That's why he panicked.
That railroad station, yes, small town, you're absolutely right. There were white folks there too.
Oh yeah, not as many as black folks. There's a lot of black folks there.
It don't matter how many. Dude, I'm trying to tell you that character was putting everybody in danger with that shit, and Preacher Boy spoke on it. Like, that was real clear and obvious. Like, that was nothing to just kind of gloss over. Like, he was like, "Oh shit, here we go," you know.
Also, the preacher boy guy, that I forget the actor's name, because that's his first role, but he did a fantastic job.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a very almost like The Devil Comes Down to Georgia type vibe, you know, with like his talents, like, you know, he was just a really good artist, and I hope that he gets more roles going forward, because he knocked it out of the fucking park. This shit was great.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, the one thing that shocked me, like the whole hell, because I had no idea this person was in the movie, was at the train station. We see another blues player, and it's Delroy Lindo.
Yeah, I didn't know he was going to be in that. Yeah.
I didn't know he was in this fucking film. Once I saw him, I was like, oh, this is going to be, this is probably going to be another Oscar fucking contending movie.
I'm going to keep 100. I didn't know Delroy Lindo was still fucking alive.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. I was happy to see him, though. Yeah.
He was in something. He's in one. I know he plays a news anchor on one of the TV shows on cable. He was literally just in a movie I just watched recently. It was a fairly recent movie.
He's a really good actor, man.
He is.
I mentioned it last week. Please, if you like him as an actor, please go watch The Five Bloods. It's his movie more than anything else.
I mean, Ben had, that's a Spike Lee movie. It's on Netflix. A lot of people said he was Oscar snub. They thought he was going to get nominated. He wasn't even nominated.
I mean, he was really good in fucking Malcolm X. I mean, like, from back in the day, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's great in, like, pretty much every role that I can think of him in. Like, he was in fucking The One with Jet Li.
Mm-hmm.
He's great in that shit, too. Yeah. She was great.
He's in...
I was like, bro,
he's in...
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yes, that's one of my guilty pleasures. Honestly, I've seen that movie. I literally watched that movie like 4 times in 3 days. And mostly because of Delroy. Because Delroy Lindo and Timothy Oliphant were like yin and yang, but they work so well together as two detectives trying to chase down this Grand Theft Auto group. That's such a good fucking movie.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he's underrated.
Delroy,
yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know it's a remake. It's not the greatest movie, but it's a fun movie. Anyway. Mm-hmm. So with Delroy here, he's a blues man. The Stack brothers hire him to play at the club. Everyone's like kind of skeptical because they know their reputation, but they pay the money. They're flashing that money throughout town. Like, we can pay you. We pay you $20. And they're like, well, how two naysayers have $20? Like, what did this come from? We doing the club. And like, the one thing that kind of weirded me out was they had the wagon with all their stuff in it. I was like, why do you have a wagon like buried out here?
Because they stole it.
Yeah,
was that the stolen goods?
That was all the stolen goods from the Italians and the Irish people.
And did you notice the types of firearms that were very mobster-esque from Chicago in that era?
They had the Tommy gun. So that's what people point out. They had the Tommy gun for the Chicago, and they had like the
and they had a bar, and I was like, whoa, all right, that's fucking strange, but yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's hella crazy because like. I think Smoke meets a girl in town. And he asks her to watch the car, and she's like, "Well, what do you want me to do? Just sit in the car, just make sure nobody goes in there. If someone goes in there, you tell me." And so, or you honk the horn. And sure enough, she honked the horn. There's these 2 dudes going to the back, and like he just busts their kneecaps without even like talking to them first.
Well, he shoots one in the ass.
Was it? I thought he busted his kneecaps first.
No,
he shot the other one
guy in the ass. He shot the first guy in the ass. The other guy shot in the kneecap.
God dang. But still,
which is like, I mean, I'd much rather get shot in the ass than get shot in the kneecap.
Oh yeah, the kneecap, yeah. And then it turns out that he knows both of them, or knew one of them. That was some crazy shit. But then he gets the shop owner, the Chinese shop owner, to patch them up. He's like, I shot 2 dudes. Like, can you patch them up? She's like, yeah, I guess we can. He paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
He paid for them to get patched up. I was like, oh shit. So like, and then we find out the other brother, I guess Smoke. Smoke has the one that had, I don't know, were they married?
Oh, okay, so hold on. Oh, Ninja. We don't have to go through the entire movie, like play by play. But we are. So
I'm going to quickly paraphrase real quick because we see Smoke had a lady that had a child that they lost, that they grieved over. But we also found out she's like in touch with like Creole voodoo magic. So very early on. And then they finally all gather at the club. We get the blues thing going.
Okay, let's not do the play-by-play of the entire movie.
We're at the club. We're in the club already. It's not. I mean, we're doing the thing. We're doing the music. That's when it turns to a music video. And then we get. I didn't even talk about the American Indians, but we get vampires pop up.
But you're still, man. Sometimes I wonder, man.
I mean, you can take over from here. I mean,
we can give highlights of the movie, but like we can't get into the habit of giving like the play-by-play of the entire movie.
I mean, I skipped like a large portion right there,
but still. what did you enjoy most?
Yes, thank you. Back on track.
I enjoyed a lot. I enjoyed the violence. There's a lot of like vampire style violence. I enjoyed the lore. Both we meet like a little bit of Creole lore plus the vampire lore. They talk about haints, and then we talk about the undead vampires, and like that was pretty interesting. There's a lot of like music that represented like different eras, like past, present, and future, and different cultures. That's what I liked, and I liked the fact that he wasn't excluding different cultures. Like he features American Indians, Chinese Americans, obviously prominent African Americans, and obviously white folks. I feel like it was like a weird kind of history lesson with vampires and shooting.
Okay, that's pretty straightforward, pretty fair.
Yeah. I mean, I think the highlight of the movie for me was, I mean, the music side of it. Where like that one scene was like basically it was one really long shot of really like a history through music for like it's centered on African American and African history, but then it also delved in like Old Ninja said into like some Chinese history as well, and there's also some stuff like kind of later but not in the same one shot of like European. I think it was almost like Irish history with like the Riverdance thing that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But in that one shot thing, it was like so much going on at once, and the fact that it was in one shot, I don't think that most viewers even realized that it was like a one shot thing, and how hard that would have been to film. That must have taken a couple of fucking weeks to film, because it was incredible. Seeing like the past, present, and future, I really appreciated that. I loved the small subtle details of the movie when the vampires had the shine in their eyes, and the fact that the main guy, I forget his name, someone with an R. Remick, yeah. The way that he had like the red shine in his eyes, that was fantastic. I love how Remick was so offended when they asked him if he was part of the clan, and he was like, no. Like basically he was just all about like kind of like love, and like everybody's kind of the same, everybody's equal, like once you're a vampire though, like everybody's like, we're on the same page as long as I can bite you though, like I think that should be like a real telling that a literal vampire looks down upon racism. And there's also a whole other part about the story that I really loved about, even though I just said that, I'm going to give the other contrast to that, about how the vampires in this movie really represented like whiteness really trying to steal and absorb black culture, because that's really what Remick represented. Was that's the reason why he was really taking a shine to the main black singer, I forget his name in the fucking show,
Preacher Boy.
The Preacher Boy, yeah. And he wanted to basically absorb all of his memories, or like all the things that he knew about music, so he could bring it into like his own little like group. And I hope that wasn't lost on most people, but that's literally what I think that was all about, is just like the stealing of culture.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Real real quick for me. I know we got into a little bit of detail last week, but favorite part. I love the lore of they have to be invited in.
Yes.
And I love the whole aspect. It kind of goes to a little bit what Kronos was talking about in terms of if you're not letting the wrong people in, you know, you can be a whole lot safer. And the whole stuff, even with Cornbread, you know, trying to convince him to let him in. And I think it was Annie who was just like, you know, you've been going in and out of here. You big as hell. You're like 6'6", 300 pounds, whatever. You do whatever you need to. You've been coming in and out all night. Yeah. Why you need an invitation now? So I love the fact that she figured shit out about the rules of these vampires so early. Yeah. And people listened to her. Where they were like, you know what? Garlic. You know what? Wooden steaks. You know what? Silver. Let's fucking go. These are the rules.
What is her name?
No debate about that.
So she knew about like creature lore. Not just she talks about haints and she talks about vampires because she knew there's otherworldly forces out there, not just haints. So I'm like, oh, this could be a potential sequel with different monsters in it for the next outgoing. You know, or a team of monsters. Who knows?
You have enough gold here for a prequel, a sequel, and a spinoff at least.
You've got enough of the fucking Avenger style, like serious, like MCU. You know, just call it the what is it? I guess Ryan Coogler fucking the RCU, the Ryan Coogler universe. There's enough there because like we said before, you know, there's the Native Americans that were here that were like hunting down, you know, Remick. Like there's what happened to them. You know, like what happened like after, you know, the end of the movie, like in between like, you know, then and like the 80s. Like there's a lot there to like really pull from. And I hope that this is not just a one-shot movie. But if it is, I'm satisfied. I got to tell you, I got a thing for her name is Wunmi Musaku. I just got a thing for her ever since fucking Lovecraft Country. So
yeah, she was great in that.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah.
Oh, so she's in the MCU.
She is. She's in Loki.
She's the head of the TSA.
Yeah.
After Logan season 2. So that's wild stuff. Oh, actually, she's in Deadpool. Yeah. Because she shows up like towards the end of Deadpool. I forgot about that part.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. One of the there's like the chat is kind of blowing up, but one of the other things about Remick as well is that he didn't lie about the clan ambush, which was great. You know, because then at the end, one of my favorite parts of the movie was when we got some just like gratuitous violence with, you know, the clan getting shot the fuck up, which I'm all in for. Just make a movie about we're gonna kill the clan. I'm in for it. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I've told you many times on this show, we are missing out on basically a spin-off version of Wolfenstein just
killing Klansmen. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Red Dead Redemption 2 literally kind of gave us a little peek into that world,
and I found the motherfuckers too.
So check this shit out. So 2 weeks ago, we talked about a film that I was like, kind of like, it came out of nowhere, but it was basically about killing zombie Nazis, right? That was Overlord. What if this shit connects to Overlord? That'd be some shit. Like, because Overlord could be the sequel where it goes to vampires and zombies and then like something else later on. Like,
Overlord wasn't too bad. I remember I did watch that a couple years back.
I saw that in the theater. That shit was great because they were literally killing zombie Nazis, and it was great.
Yeah. I'm all about killing Nazis and killing Klansmen. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean,
when it comes to like a hierarchy of life, they're like, you know, pretty much at the bottom. Like I say it all the time on the podcast. I am not a violent man, but there are exceptions.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so that's what I forgot. So Brandon Park had it right. He reminded me that they called it a juke joint, not a club. It was a juke joint.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
And also like the all the throwbacks to just like black culture. So the whole, you know, juke joint scene, like the whole scene was a fucking painting from what the fuck was it called? I forget the name of it.
I always call it the Good Times painting.
Yeah, that's what they would yeah, but that's not the name of it. It's called something else. Is it Sugar Shack?
That sounds right. Right. Let's go with that.
Oh, so apparently Eddie Murphy has that painting.
Oh, the original version.
Yes,
Yeah, and he
it is
paid
Sugar
a
Shack.
good
Yeah.
amount of money.
By Ernie Barnes, Sugar Shack.
There you
So
go.
if you look up that, also if you like that whole vibe, there's a song by Anderson Paak,
Mm.
The Get Down, which is
Yeah.
basically
yeah.
it's that painting made into a music video.
Nice. This is a monumental movie. I fucking love it. I'm glad that almost all the audience, pretty much, or most of the audience, loves it. Critics seem to love it. I think it has legs. I think a lot of people, clearly by the audience numbers from week 2, are going back to watch it multiple times. So it's a great sign.
I'm probably gonna see it again. My cousin wants to see it again, so
There
we're
you go.
probably gonna see it early next week, maybe. But I'm seeing Thunderbolts first, and then I'm gonna go see Sinners.
Oh,
again,
Ninja,
'cause
your video is frozen. I don't know what happened. I can hear you though. So like for the
I'm frozen.
podcast audio, we're great. But
That's
for
weird because Prodigy was frozen like 30 seconds ago.
he was
good
because
now.
he was on his phone looking up food porn. But it's all good.
God damn.
It's that time of day, you know.
That Caliente got you going.
There he goes. There he goes again. All right.
Yeah, he goes in his all clearing his history. Anyway, but yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the film. There was a lot of like poignant kind of things. I think things that were lost to, I guess, history and whatnot, because a lot of things that are probably known but not really talked about are in the film, like the juke joint, and like being talking openly to a white woman who we find out later is partially back. She's like part of the one drop rule, obviously. Brilliantly played by Haley Steinfeld because she's a good actress and she did a really good job in this film. Actually, everyone did a great fucking job in this film. I think everyone did. How we're small, like as they say, there are no small roles. Like the Chinese family, that shit was pretty powerful right there.
Yeah.
When they tried to use the daughter as a bargaining chip and shit, that shit was fucking good. And
Also,
she lost it.
There was a part in the movie where like literally the whole theater was like, no.
Yeah,
with the wife. I was like, man, yeah.
So when I saw it, some people were cheering because they knew what that meant. That meant it's about to go down.
Yeah,
like, oh,
and that's
shit.
when it's the part of like it was like From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Where the whole club just like changed scene. It was just like, also just to be clear, From Dusk Till Dawn is not a Quentin Tarantino movie. This is a misconception. It's a Robert Rodriguez movie. So Quentin Tarantino's in it. Yeah.
It has in it. I think that's why people
that's because those two worked together a lot.
They did.
Their careers. So,
but Robert Rodriguez made a lot of really good. I mean, he did fucking Desperado and a bunch of other really great movies. And it's just like he's not Quentin Tarantino, and Quentin Tarantino is not Robert Rodriguez. Like they have different styles.
They do.
Yeah.
So I do like because they did do Grindhouse together, which was definitely you can totally see their two different styles. They also did this movie that I really like. It's 4 rooms. There's like 4 segments. They each direct a different segment.
Remember
so each one of them do a different segment, and it's great because Robert Rodriguez's segment is the one with Antonio Banderas and like the two kids and whatnot.
They put Vicks vapor rub on their eyelids so they wouldn't open their eyes.
And then they find the dead hooker in the mattress. That's just wild. And then Tarantino's segment is the one with Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis and the Bet. And then Madonna's segment's in the middle. I don't remember who directed the middle segment, but that was still pretty.
It's been years. I forgot about that movie. I did watch that shit. Now that you're describing it.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times. It's fucking crazy. It feels like you can tell. So it's he's in Pulp Fiction too. What's his name? I can't do his name, but he plays fucking
Harvey Keitel.
No, he plays the Abomination in the MCU. Fuck.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he looked kind of sickly all the time.
Yeah, he's the bellhop. So each room he goes to is a different story, and it's like a fucked up day for him. So it's pretty funny though. It's a little quirky little movie. Does some crazy shit. So
there you go. Did everybody see the latest and greatest Last of Us episode?
Oh yeah.
Sorry, it's Tim Roth is his name.
There it is.
I had to look it up. Yeah.
I don't know why I couldn't get his name. Tim Roth is amazing, by the way. I'm glad he came back to the MCU. I guess he's coming back again. Like he might be in Doom. He might be in Thunderbolts actually.
Well, I mean, there should be a whole bunch of like people are. I feel kind of bad for people because they're like mad about some of the castings and like, oh, they're the wrong ethnicity, oh, they're the wrong, gender, or blah blah blah. They don't understand like what's going to happen, what's likely going to happen anyway in the MCU. Like all these like weird, like different ethnicities, genders, whatever. It's on purpose, and you'll understand once you get introduced to the multiverse, like properly. Which is I think it's gonna be like a Secret Wars type deal. So you're gonna get a bunch of different like swaps and shit. So,
and people are gonna die.
I mean, I would argue that we've been introduced to quite a bit of multiverse of late.
We have, but yet you have people that are still mad that Silver Surfer is a chick.
Yeah,
I will say this. I think that it is a different character. It's not Norrin Rad.
No, yeah,
that's true. And at the same time, I would have loved to have seen Norrin Rad. Like I've wanted to see Norrin Rad in the MCU or in a movie, any movie.
But
since, what was it?
He's been in it. He's been in a Fantastic Four.
Yeah, no, I'm saying since what was it? 07 Fantastic Four. I haven't seen a Silver Surfer or whatever. So
was it 07? Damn,
it's been a minute. Yeah. And it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't a great movie. So hopefully, like the new Fantastic Four will be a better movie. That's what I'm hoping for. So like, people are focusing on the fact that Silver Surfer is going to be a woman, and not the fact that like the last time we had Norrin Rad in a proper movie, it was a shitty movie. So,
it wasn't a great movie, but it was still cool to see Norrin Rad. I mean, this is not Norrin Rad. People just need to understand that. Yeah. And I don't have any qualms about people being, slightly disappointed on not seeing Norrin Rad. No, that's a character.
I just want a better Fantastic Four movie. That's all I want. I don't give a shit if Silver Surfer is somebody, but also it's the caveat of spoiler alert if you are not familiar with the comics, but this should be basically a throwaway fucking universe. If anything, if we do get like a longer running, movie series out of this, hopefully, we get the maker out of this. And that would be dope. So, but we'll see. If you don't know who the maker is, then I don't know. Read more comics. So yeah.
I would say I think it's very telling that more people are upset about Nala Ball being in the movie and not Norrin Rad versus Doctor Doom. No one said shit about Doctor Doom being in this film, but they're all complaining about Silver Surfer.
We don't know if he's actually in this film.
I don't see why he wouldn't be, since Doomsday is literally coming up.
No, it's Galactus is going to be the villain, right? So
yeah, it looks like Galactus. You're right. Doctor Doom is I'll just flat out say it. He is tied to the Fantastic Four, period. Not tied to Avengers. I don't give a fuck how you slice and dice it. He is a Fantastic Four villain through and through. Now they'll use him or whatever and tie it some kind of way. That's fine. But the biggest thing for me with Galactus that they're not going to do, probably. I haven't seen the movie, of course, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I want to see that whole aspect, especially with Norrin Rad and Galactus, where he's the Herald. And that whole thing of bondage and your planet being gone, that's some of my favorite stuff. And him finally getting freedom. Like, there's a whole analogy to slavery with Galactus that could be explored on screen. I doubt that they will. But that whole aspect of the Herald getting freedom is incredible. And to me, that's one of the best cosmic stories Marvel's ever done that I've read.
Well, I don't know. I agree. So hold on. I'm giving like the era that we both grew up in, right? So yeah, back in the day, I totally agree with. But I think that Secret Wars is a better story than like the Herald of Galactus, as far as like for me anyway. So just personally speaking, Secret Wars is going to be if this is the route they're going to go, it's a better story.
All that's fine. Silver Surfer has always been my favorite cosmic character.
Okay.
And so,
That's understandable.
yeah.
For me, it was Thanos, but then we already got him, so I'm good.
Yeah.
And then, but I think a lot of people who probably were not back when we were, the fact is, Galactus has more than one herald. It's several heralds.
Hold on.
Yeah, but
you're not wrong on that. You're absolutely right. However, it's just like when someone says, "Okay, plenty of people have worn the cape and cowl." That's true. That is definitely true. But there's one that's more famous than everybody else, and that is Silver Surfer.
Of course, but I mean, still, people like to nitpick, but then they want to exclude other truths and just focus on this little niche kind of thing.
Well, let's just be clear though. These are very nerd complaints. All right, so like the vast majority of people that are going to watch this movie they had never read a single comic, much less the comics in the fucking 90s. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I hope that they tell a story that is more of a wide appeal. For me, like if they were going to do Secret Wars, it shouldn't. Well, maybe it could, but there should be a better lead up to Secret Wars than this. So
just to clarify for like old fucks, are you talking about 80s Secret Wars? Or
no, Hickman Secret Wars.
2016, 2018, that era.
Well, it wasn't 2018, right? It was like before that.
How long? I can't remember the years, but it was while this cast was going on.
It was like in the 2020s. Like it was the Hickman run of Secret Wars.
Yeah, okay.
It was the one where Namor and fucking Black Panther were like bitter enemies, but they were still on the same fucking. They were in the Illuminati together. For me, that was like fucking peak comic book storytelling.
Yeah, that was good. There's no. I have no complaints on that. You got to establish all the things with.
It's a lot, yeah.
Black Panther and some of these other characters, and really establish Namor quite a bit more. And there's a lot to.
And obviously, they can't do it now because Chadwick Boseman unfortunately passed away. We have the setup for Namor, but it's not enough, and we're not getting all the other ancillary characters, kind of going on. We have most of them, but the MCU kind of fell off as far as movies go over the past couple of years. Yeah. So I hope that this Fantastic Four, kind of brings it all back. But it's weird because it's not. This shouldn't be in our universe. So
yeah, you're right. Yeah. No, 'cause this universe that we've seen for the past since 2008 has been by all things Avengers and whatnot, and like it's not the same universe. I completely agree with you, but we'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic about it. I'm more optimistic, to be very honest with you, than I am about Thunderbolts, but we'll see.
Yeah, Thunderbolts is getting good reviews, man.
So far, it's getting pretty good.
I'm just going to tell you flat out, I don't care about Black Widow's sister. I don't care about her dad. I don't care about Bucky at this point. I just don't. And it seems very Suicide Squad-y, but
that's what they are. The Thunderbolts are the Marvel version of Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I want to watch it because if we get Sentry, we get like one of the first like real Superman type characters in the MCU, except for Thor. Mm-hmm. But Thor is kind of like, I don't want to say he's weak, but he's definitely like not as strong as he should be. I haven't watched like the latest Thor movie either though, so but Thor can do a lot more. Sentry should be like basically Superman, but he's crazy. So sorry, spoiler alert.
Going back to the Secret Wars, the Hickman run was 2015 to 2016.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, that was kind of close. I remember that, and that was a great run. There's no doubt about it.
It really was. Yeah.
He's got a couple of runs like apparently he did the Infinity crossover, the FF, the spinoff for Fantastic Four, the FF title, the New Avengers, Dawn of X, House of X, Powers of X. Yeah. Like all that shit was him.
He's the guy who restarted the whole X-Men universe with with Krakoa and all that stuff. I've been a huge fan of Hickman. I mean, he did Black Monday Murders, which he didn't complete, so fuck you for that. But he also did, East of West.
It's great.
Yeah,
He's
he did a
brilliant.
bunch of really great shit.
He's brilliant. But I will say, there's been some great Silver Surfer runs, at least in the comics. I know he hasn't got any love since that 07 movie or whatever, but Silver Surfer Black was fucking awesome.
Oh,
and that tied directly into Venom and some of those symbiotes. So I'd love to see it all. It'd be nice to see some actual Norrin Rad Silver Surfer again. We will see. We were trying to talk about Last of Us. I don't know how we got into comics so much. I thought we mentioned Last of Us, and I don't know what.
Yeah,
what
did y'all see it?
Yes.
Hold on, real quick. You mentioned Silver Surfer Black, and I have to say, like, one of the coolest things I ever received from a listener is the Silver Surfer Black that is #1 that was signed by Trad Moore.
There you go.
Yeah,
that shit was fucking dope, man.
And he actually the guy is running Spirit. I'm not going to show the whole thing, but he wrote me a whole letter that it's framed. This is in the frame that it's in. I'm not going to show what's in the frame, but yeah, these are framed. I need to, like, as soon as I paint like the rest of my office, I will mount these on my wall because this is the coolest thing I ever received. Yeah.
For those who don't know, Silver Surfer is strong enough to wield that motherfucking Infinity Gauntlet just like Thanos. So,
yeah, and Mjolnir.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the same time.
So really quickly, I want to answer Warrior Fella.
What do you say?
He's talking about he's heard a real comic book reader mention about the Fantastic Four. Well, T'Challa tried to seduce Sue Storm.
Yep.
Yes, that's very true. Apparently, Sue Storm throws that out there for a few, and not just T'Challa, also Namor too. So.
Also, and I've always wanted to see this on screen, but we've never gotten it because of the rights with Fox and all that other stuff. But hopefully that's all fucking over with now. Spider-Man, Peter fucking Parker, and Johnny Storm are fucking homies. They've always been homies since the goddamn 1960s. They've always gotten along. They've always talked. Spider-Man's been on the fucking Fantastic Four multiple times. You see the suit in the Insomniac games quite a few times. I'd love to see Spider-Man interacting with the Fantastic Four, especially Johnny. That would be fucking dope. Anyway.
Yeah. Sorry, I was distracted by a message I just got from Patrick. It was funny.
Okay. Everything good?
Yeah, we're good. Have y'all watched any videos of Seafood Jackie on Instagram?
No.
I have not. I'm not familiar with.
Look up Seafood Jackie. Yeah.
I'm a little scared to do that. All right.
No, you don't gotta be scared. I'm just saying. She's my kind of person until her last video. 'Cause she's a cat person, and they're just just saying.
Okay. We got a Last of Us, another gem of a fucking episode, I think. Everybody watched it. The third one.
Yeah.
What do you think, old ninja?
I felt it was very reminiscent of the game. I mean, there's obviously some changes, but like this was like just like in the fucking part 2 of the game, where it's a setup of where, Ellie goes out looking for Abby. Like that starts her journey. The big thing that I think the big difference is I don't remember them doing a town hall or anything like that. I remember in the game, Tommy took off. Like Tommy told Ellie they're gonna go, but he lies and leaves her because he didn't want her coming with him. So Tommy's gone. Tommy goes after him. But in the show, Tommy tries to, follow the rules of the town, and they do a town hall and whatnot. And he's got a kid on the way. His wife is pregnant.
Wait. Tommy already has a son.
His wife is pregnant still. They have another kid.
Maria's pregnant?
Yeah, she's pregnant. Did you not see in the So the thing is, when they're doing the episode before, when the town gets raided, he's super concerned because she's pregnant. And if you look, she has this big ass coat over her belly. And then during this last episode, when they're in they're doing the town hall, she gets up. You see her belly, like she's like 8 or 9 months pregnant. She's pretty close to term.
I missed that then.
She is wearing all black, but you can see from the side her belly's out there, and she's moving kind of sluggish. So she's pregnant.
I didn't pick up on that. Okay, but
Yeah.
they do have a kid already, though.
Yeah, they do have a kid, but it looks like another one's on the way.
Okay,
So,
yeah,
but yeah, so he does like the kind of fatherly thing and kind of stays back,
yeah,
whereas versus in the game he goes head first, which is
yeah.
dope. And we do know, I do know from the trailers that Tommy does go out there just like in the game. So
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I need more Tommy up in there. The other thing I really enjoyed about this episode is we see a little bit of how the wolves get down, and a little bit how the what are they? The seraphim? What are they called?
Seraphim, and that's the first time we see them, is it not? That's the first
Yeah,
time we see them in
yeah,
the series.
yeah.
We're introduced to this whole new faction. So
My
if you haven't played the game, you're in for some shit.
my favorite thing is they took the goddamn whistling from the game of those seraphims,
Yeah.
which the first time you hear it in the video game, you're just like, what the fuck is, especially if you have headphones on, you're like, what the fuck is that?
Then you get
Someone
hit with an
whistling?
arrow.
And it's different if it's different whistles that mean different things. If you pay attention long enough in the game, you're like, okay, I know where they are. You know what I mean? They're coming from here, they're trying to flank us or whatever, but like they have fucking coded meanings with the type of whistles you hear, and they're really clear on the fucking TV show on this episode, and I love that. Same fucking whistles.
Yeah, and it was actually I was very noticeable. Like it looked exactly like the game when they get to Seattle. It
Yes.
looked exactly like it did in the game with all the cars, the ambulance, with them and the horse. It looked like identical almost. I was like, holy shit, they did a really good job.
And they mention the prophet with the seraphim.
Yeah,
Which is
about prophet.
extremely important for them. Now, the one thing I will say, I remember from the game of people having bald heads. I remember that. Do you remember the
The
lines?
scars. Yeah.
Yeah, they call it. So
Mhm.
that's what the wolves call them scars because on the face.
But
They call
do you
them
remember
scars.
this specifically right around the lip? Or
I thought so.
Yeah,
They're on the
it's-
cheeks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's on the
okay.
cheeks. But I think in the game it was only one scar. I think in the show there's two. But
Okay.
either way. But they're known as scars. They're dressed the same
Yeah.
same symbols that's on the back and whatnot. They're using bow and arrows to keep because they don't use, even though he had a gun if I remember correctly, but they mainly use bow and arrows because in the game when you first hit and whistle you get hit with an arrow.
They fucking quiet
Right.
as shit. They're fucking scary when you first
Yeah.
meet them.
I was like, what the fuck was that? I'm like, dude, I'm hurt. Like
Yeah.
I don't have no health. Like I'm fucking hit in the shoulder. Like what the fuck? That's just wild shit. So I can see this. I can see why there's going to be a third season because there's still a lot of story left.
Oh yeah.
Like there's a whole lot of shit
Well,
like left over.
I mean, I wonder if they're going to
to.
complete like the second. I mean, I guess they can extend it out because they already have been kind of extending out the story because there is no Last of Us 3 yet.
Nope.
So I couldn't imagine. I mean, there probably is going to be another one because I'm not going to go away the end, but there's potential to be another one. But I know they're focusing on was it Intergalactic or something like that. For right now, that people are kind of shitting on because there's like a bald woman. I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm playing it. Naughty Dog don't fucking
Holy
miss
shit.
for me
Oh my
so
god!
far.
I just had an epiphany.
What?
Thanks to you, Cronus. So, Tati, is that her name? Tati, the actress. She's part of Abby's crew. The
Yeah, of
blonde.
course.
Yeah, it looks just
So
like her.
she's
Yeah.
an Intergalactic. That's the same actress.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
okay.
course.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that until he
So,
just said that right
yeah.
now. I was like, oh shit.
So people are talking shit about their latest game. I'm like, Naughty Dog hasn't missed like in a very long time as far as I'm concerned. Even like The Last of Us 2, people were talking shit, but y'all didn't play the fucking game because the game was fucking good. Like Swole Abby was the shit. I love playing as Swole Abby. She was fucking. It was a really great contrast to Ellie because Ellie was kind of more squishy and you had to sneak around with her. But Swole Abby, you can fucking get some shit done with some hammers. So
It was a great game. I think if you rewind the clock, goddamn, 5 years now because it came out in 2020. Remember there was a leak, and that leak tainted a lot of people who had never played the game.
Yeah.
In terms of their views of the game and whether they wanted it or it was, too whatever. There was a lot of problems with people reacting to the leak. And I think that unfortunately hurt them with some people who were probably gonna fucking thumbs down it any goddamn way. But it was a great game. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say to piggyback on both of your points. So the first point with Cronus, there's people that didn't play the game, but there's also people that did not play the DLC because they're bitching and moaning about Ellie being gay. I'm like, I thought this was known if you played the DLC,
Yeah.
but they acted like that wasn't part of her character. I'm like, what are you talking about?
DLC
So they were like talking hella shit, but they didn't play the DLC. That means they either didn't love the game that much or they didn't play all of it. And then Last of Us 2 got so much hate that it was like review bomb, but it still won Game of the Year the year it came out, which
Yeah.
drove me fucking just crazy. I'm like, dude, despite all the negative fan reactions, this took top honors at like most game awards around the globe.
Well, remember, it was a few things going on with this one, and we talked about it at length back in 2020. It was some people being pissy about Joel, some people being pissy about the sexuality of Ellie, some people hating Swole Abby, some people hating the fact that there are other gender fluid characters. I'll just say that because people are watching the show who haven't played the game in the game, and there was a leak like 2-3 months ahead of time, and it was a lot of things going on. And remember, the pandemic had just hit too.
Yeah.
And so people were already in a weird head.
Well, and this was Trump's America.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck! Now it is
goodness.
again. God damn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, the game was great. I think that the direction they went with The Last of Us 2 was fantastic because it was so out of left field. Because if you'd have told me like the main character in The Last of Us fucking dies in the next game, I would have been like, what? It'd been like playing fucking Metroid and then Samus dies in the second fucking game. You know what I mean?
Or anybody.
Or, yeah,
like Master Chief, Nathan Drake, any of them died in their second outing. Like,
yeah.
people lost their fucking minds.
But the way they did it, though, it made total fucking sense. Like, Joel had to pay for the consequences of what he did because he did some bad shit in the first game. If anyone wants to argue that, like, they're wrong. So, like, he killed somebody's dad. He paid the consequences. Like, if somebody, you can understand Abby's determination to kill Joel because he killed her dad.
Yep.
So, and the fact that it gets into this whole, revenge cycle is fantastic. And one of the reasons why I love the game is because I love games and just stories in general where like there's a breaking of a cycle of something. If you ever watch Vinland Saga, it's one of my favorite animes of all time because of this. Because there's too many times where you see like the typical revenge cycle where like somebody kills somebody, then somebody kills somebody else, and then all of a sudden the story's over. It's like, no, like that person probably knew somebody and they're probably going to try and find you with the same motivation that you had. The whole eye for an eye makes the world blind. That's literally, it's a fucking cycle. But some of these, shows and, stories show that like, hey, like it's going to end with me. So that takes some courage.
For me, here was the brilliance though of The Last of Us, going even back to part 1, which came out 2013. Yes, killing a doctor, you know what I mean? Along with many, many dozens and dozens of other people by Joel, fucked up. But here's the thing.
I think you missed a very big point, like a doctor that could have potentially cured.
Well, but I was just gonna get to that. Yes, potentially done some curing. However, and this is something that was really clear in the game, it was going to cost Ellie and her life. And Joel, in the very first scene in The Last of Us, loses who? His daughter.
Yeah.
Violently. And he was not going to allow himself emotionally to lose another daughter or daughter-like figure. So there's a lot going on, you know what I mean? In terms of would you do it this way? Would you not? Hey.
And let's hold on, just to like add another like layer onto that. He lost his like birth daughter to authority.
Yes.
And he was going to lose Ellie to pretty much the same sort of authority.
Yep.
Of like, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. So there are some people who could see it from his perspective, and obviously plenty of people who could see it from Abby's perspective. They play with that duality quite a bit between the first and second game and the first and second seasons of these shows so far. So I love that. It's not as clear cut, black and white as you think on first glance. There are some nuances to it.
Oh, do you ever see Neil Druckmann, who is the producer of the game and director of the game, producer of the show? He had said like a couple of years ago that in the world of The Last of Us, there are no good guys.
I mean, yeah, it's a world of grays. I think it's like in life, and when you reduce somebody to like their base form, like you will do whatever you can to survive. So that's why it's literally called The Last of Us.
Also, let me say this too. Going back to part one, Ellie was gay coded or lesbian coded from the very fucking beginning. Let's be really clear about that. Even without the DLC, some people tried to ignore that, but yes, she was like a 14-year-old girl, so you have to be careful in terms of assuming things or whatever. But most people were thinking that she was quote unquote gay coded, even without the DLC. The DLC just helped confirm it. So people acting shocked and surprised by season 2. Good Lord, where the fuck were you? You know what I mean? Like,
no, they're shocked and surprised in part 2 of the game.
Yeah, I know.
There were people like going off talking about. I mean, I'm like, okay, like I get you felt this connection to her or whatnot, but they made her the way she is. Like, did you not catch up on this? Did you not play this? You acting like you didn't play her DLC. That clearly shows her, attraction to another girl. Where were you? Where were you?
They never showed in the first game her being like, I need to find me a boy, and that was never said by her. Never. Let me go. Sneak off to hook up with some boy. Never.
Well,
never.
It's also, let's just be really clear. In the first game, she's 14 years old.
Yep.
So for some mainly dudes that want to feel some sort of way about her sexuality, she's 14 years old in the first game. Yep. So her sexuality should be literally none of your fucking concern.
Yeah.
The fact that after she's an adult, that she's into women, like, this person doesn't actually exist.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you had a shot at this person. So it's very weird to me.
But even she's like 19 or 19, 20 in the second game. But again, even in the first game, even at 14, she's kissed girls in the game.
And that's fine. Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, people feel in some sort of way. It's just it's very weird to me. I feel like these people want to have to like own things and like have authority over things, but it's like none of these things are for you, and they're not real, and it's not every person on the planet is here for you. It's these same fucks with like these this main character syndrome that are regular ass people. You're boring as fuck. You know what I mean? And you're just a regular ass person that you are the NPC in this story, if anything. And they want to assume authority over everything when like your own life is fucking terrible. So
damn. God dang.
So fuck them. All right.
Yeah.
I'll just say it. Fuck them.
There you go. Great show so far, though. I'm fucking engaged in this shit. I love the fact that some scenes are straight out of the game, and I love the fact that there are plenty of characters and scenes that aren't out of the game. The whole twist of the one bigoted guy being like, "No, I'm fucking with you. Here's a horse, here's some supplies, go get them." You know what I mean? I was like, "Oh, fuck."
Well, also Eugene's wife, she has a huge, pretty role in the show.
She's great.
Right? Because they in the game, there's no therapist.
No.
I love that. Yeah, and the fact that it's the fact that she was in Beetlejuice, fantastic. Wasn't she also in Home Alone? She was in Home Alone too, right?
Yeah, she's the mom in Home Alone.
Yeah,
Catherine O'Hara, she's the mom in Home Alone.
And the fact that she's like grappling with like being a therapist with no therapist, and her therapist is basically alcohol and weed.
Yep.
Like that makes sense to me because
because she says she has no one to talk to about her shit, so she relies on weed and alcohol, and she's like running out of weed, so it's even more like kind of fucked up for her. I thought it was kind of funny, but
Yeah.
still. I mean, and we're only 3 episodes in. We're looking at what, 12 episodes probably?
It was 8, 12, 10, 8? I don't
I
know.
don't know. I'm just
remember,
I'm,
but-
I'm all in for it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm so happy that they're doing a really good job about this show because like I feel like people today are like so spoiled when it comes to like media in general because like back in like the 80s, I'm sorry, the 90s and before that, like all of this nerdy shit was done horrifically in every single media form except for like the original one. Like it was decent in, you know, video games and comics, but then when they got made into live action, it was a total fucking shit show. Like they did the Iron Man back in the day. They did Batman way back in the day. They did fucking the Avengers way back in the day. They did a whole bunch of other things way back in the day, but they were fucking awful. Like they were like C, maybe even fucking E movies. I mean, they were so fucking bad. And now that we're getting a budget, thank Blade for that, by the way, that all these movies are getting budgets now, and Spawn, to, you know, because Spawn had like the most special effects in any movie up until that point. Also, another black-led movie. Just saying, the fact that we're getting all this budget and time and effort into these shows now is great. And I hope that happens more. It gives me hope for God of War when it eventually gets made, because if they fuck that up, I'm gonna be so fucking mad. I'm gonna be so fucking mad.
I mean, it is Prime. Prime puts money into their stuff.
I mean, the Wheel of Time, you know, it's, yeah.
I haven't seen that yet, but I heard it's really, really good.
Yeah.
The one that they put money, like they put money in, which you still have not seen, Kronos, is Foundation. That shit they put.
That's not Amazon though.
No, it's Apple
Yeah.
TV, but they put money in it.
I'm gonna watch it because Murderbot is gonna be on there. It's not.
Yeah,
It's just like 3 shows that I have to watch that are on, because Murderbot, I read all the books. Same thing with Foundation.
And then the other show that's on there that's actually really good, which I wasn't really like thinking much of, was the Monarch series, the Godzilla series. That's actually really fucking good. I know people. I wasn't sure if it was just me. I'm like, I'm really liking this. This seems very cohesive. It's like very fucking thought out, and it's like has like real fucking shit going on. And I watch it, and I'm like, holy shit! It stars the girl from Shogun, who won an Emmy. She's in the series, but along with Wyatt Russell and Kurt Russell. So I'm like, dude, this is actually pretty good. But season 2, I think, is this summer. So I can't wait for that. That shit's actually really fucking good. I didn't think a Godzilla TV show would be something I'd be into. Actually, no, it'd be something I would into, but I didn't think it would be good. It's actually pretty fucking good. So there's that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. I still need to also watch Fallout too, because I heard that was.
Oh man,
you didn't watch Fallout?
Yeah,
Oh man,
I haven't watched that one.
Fallout was crazy, man. That's actually pretty good. That shit was nominated for Emmys because that was that good. So
Yeah.
that was crazy to like watch, because it's like, where are they gonna go with this? And they did a really good job. Yeah, I mean they had a ghoul as one of the main characters, and I was like, all right.
Oh yeah, and he had his makeup was fucking amazing. They
Yeah.
did a really good job with his makeup.
I almost feel like going back and actually playing Fallout 4. That was a fun game when it worked. The engine was fucking shit. I loved the story.
So yeah, I went back and played it. There's been so many improvements on it. It's way more playable now. And honestly, if you played Fallout Shelter on your phone, it actually makes playing Fallout 4 easier, because you understand like the whole like mechanics of like building shit, like cities.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that shit was good.
It's weird to me that I remember back in the day, the taste of Street Fighter was left in our mouths, and then we had like somewhat less bitter Mortal Kombat, because Mortal Kombat had the sequel, and you know they were okay. Like the first one, the original Mortal Kombat I liked, and the second one was okay, but it kind of fell off. But like now we have series, we have at least one Mortal Kombat remake with the sequel out this year.
Yeah.
Wait.
So I mean,
the latest Mortal Kombat wasn't bad. It was actually pretty fun in terms of the movie, and I'm looking forward to the sequel. But let's be respectful. Raul Julia as M. Bison, that's fucking kiss. God damn it.
Yeah.
It was
but,
Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean that's the greatest line he delivered. But I mean, it was literally, if you look back at it now, a lot of those people were like they were famous then. I don't think I caught up on it. You got Kylie Minogue, Ming Na Wen, Jean-Claude Van
Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Raul
yeah.
Julia.
Yeah.
I was just like, what the fuck?
And it was
There's hella people.
still a fucking shitty movie. Can we be real
What?
here? It was a fucking shitty movie.
I know.
Yeah.
And some
The-
people
the
say it's
only-
not that bad. I
the-
really want to slap those people that say it's not
Yeah.
that bad. I'm like, dude, this was
The
terrible.
only thing, that's why I want to be clear. The only thing I was defending was Raul Julia. He was fucking
Mhm.
great, but everything else was
That
pretty
was
rough.
trash.
However, the animated that anime wasn't bad at
That,
all.
Oh,
that
so-
doesn't count. That
Yeah, that
that's
doesn't
not
count.
the same.
But so the anime, that's it has one of the greatest soundtracks of all time, especially in the 90s. It's the first time I heard Korn Blind, and there was a song from Alice in Chains. I forget what it was, but it was fantastic. And the fact that it was like a Japanese
it had
made
Silverchair in it too.
Yeah, it was fucking fantastic. But this is
That
back in
was
the day where you literally had to get a goddamn VHS tape to
Yes.
watch an anime. And people don't like today. You got Crunchyroll, so easy to get all your fucking anime. Back in the day, you had to know somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody that probably came from Japan to get you a
well, not
VHS
for me,
tape.
but-
Remember that place that was near? It was like right across the street from Maloney.
Yep.
What was it called?
Oh, shit.
I
I
forget
can't
the name
remember
of
the
it.
name. But yeah.
That was a place I
So-
would go to.
I guess I had a slightly different dilemma. So what I found out is there were two different versions of the movie, and like on VHS there was like the yellow cover, which was like the PG-13, and there was like a purple cover, which was like an unrated kind of thing. Because the movie had Chun-Li was
different versions.
naked.
She was.
She was naked in the shower scene, but if you had the PG-13, it was like edited to where you didn't see her nakedness, or they like blurred shit out. So like we were trying to find the unrated version. Like there's one place that was selling it. Once that shit that's hit wildfire where I was, everybody was like, "You got to get this version." So I like fucking found it, fucking got it, fucking. And I watched it, and it was like crazy. I was like, "What?"
You know,
fuck?
I didn't know for like the longest time that the Fist of the North Star, the version that I saw, was an edited version.
Yeah.
Like with the whole like where the colors go all weird and shit.
Yep.
Like that's not the way it is in Japan. Like, and also Fist of the North Star is one of the most violent fucking animes
Yep.
of all. Even like the edited version in America was still like crazy.
Mhm.
Did y'all know there's a live action Fist of the North Star?
Oh yeah, another terrible fucking movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I
was
was like,
bad.
what
Yeah.
the fuck? I was like, holy shit. And then like there's a live action Double Dragon with the dude from who's in what's that shit? The Party of Five show. He's like one of the Double Dragon dudes. I was like, what the fuck? The fuck is this about? That was kind of terrible because actually that went nowhere. Wild shit. But now we actually have they are respecting the content now where they're adapting it into a live action faithful or fairly faithful series. So the one thing I'm still nervous about, just like God of War, but not so much because I'm not, I'm waiting for them to really push some shit out. But I'm more cautious about Mass Effect because Mass Effect was going to be a movie, and apparently I think Amazon or Hulu might have bought it. Or it's going to make it into a TV series. So I'm like, this is going to cost
shit.
money to put. I mean, if Apple TV puts money in their shit, so hopefully they do the same for this shit. So I'm looking forward to see what happens. I think the big thing is who's going to be Commander Shepard. Like all that shit's still in early development, but I'm waiting to see. I'm gonna see what happens. So
Mass Effect, a TV show.
yeah, there was going to be a movie, and then they I guess they changed it to a TV show. So I don't know. I think they said it's going to be 12 episodes per season or some shit like that. So I'm waiting with bated breath, but I'm cautiously optimistic.
What did you want to do your beat and beat TI?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I hit it before we. Yeah, it's good late. Okay, so Cronus talked about showering, like where people like wash up until the knees, and I guess they don't go lower or some shit. So I heard this guy. No, I didn't hear him. He posted on a forum. I was like watching it, and this dude got like 1,000 posts or some shit. So he said, I guess I have to ask you, beat everyone, I guess, those of you in the chat and whatnot. If you are washing yourself and like, soap and everything, do you wash your legs when you shower?
Yes.
Okay.
Next question.
And
This guy-
and my feet.
Yeah, so this guy says he doesn't wash his legs because they're naturally clean.
Oh shit.
And he said
No.
there was no reason to wash his legs.
Okay.
I'm like, what the
So
fuck?
so let me just say this. That means you stink. And you don't know it. You don't know it, but people around you know it. Your legs, just like any other part of your body, sweat. You probably if he's a guy, maybe I don't know. Who knows
It was
these days?
it was a guy. It was a guy who posted
You
it.
probably have hair on your legs too. You know what I mean? So it's collecting sweat. It's collecting dead skin. It's gross if you don't put soap, water, scrubbing, and cleanliness to your legs. That is half of your fucking body that you're not cleaning.
In some cases, maybe even more.
Like, what the fuck?
I use an African net. It's like an African fishing
Yeah.
net to like cleanse my body.
Mm-hmm.
A net?
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Me-
you never. Yeah, it's like literally like a fishing net. It's like looks like a fishing net. But like,
Oh,
Prodigy knows what I'm
I think I
talking about. This is not new information.
no, I think I know because I think those are old, like an old kind of tech thing, and I
Yes,
know
it's
I think I'm used to the scrub brush. You know, when you do your back and you do your leg, you use scrub brush and it has both sides. I use my shower tool, so I use both and have the
Shower
scrubby
tool.
side. They
Well,
call it the shower. It's
well,
a loofah.
the net comes in handy because like it's easier to like wash your back and all that stuff. So,
Yeah,
yeah, and it
Yeah, that's what
exfoliates, gets all the shit. It's like I don't know. I think some people they have a different version of hygiene than I do. So
Oh, yeah.
especially when it comes to
have-
like because I do jujitsu and there's like and I work out pretty much every day, and so there's days where I literally I might shower 3 times in a single day.
Yeah.
Because like I'll work out at home, right, and then I'll shower, and if I have to go to jujitsu, like I shower before I go to jujitsu, then I'll come home, and if there's anything else I have to do, like I might have to shower again. Like definitely after jiu-jitsu I have to shower, right? But there's times where like I'll work out in the morning, maybe I'll shower before I go to jiu-jitsu because I don't want to be funky going to jiu-jitsu. I'll get done with jiu-jitsu, then I'll shower again, and then sometimes I might do jiu-jitsu later on in the day, and I gotta fucking shower again. So it's like,
that's fine.
but some folks,
You
that's not a
I don't
priority.
think-
So
I don't think you fully understand, like, being in public and using a public restroom or a restroom. I understand now how COVID spread so quickly.
Yep.
Is because there's a lot of nasty motherfuckers out there. I've literally seen people, grown men, people that are like 40 plus, 50 plus, take a shit and then not wash their hands.
there are
Literally
so
leave the
many
restroom.
fucking white dudes that do not wash their hands after using the bathroom. It is so fucking gross to me.
I don't
I'm just
don't
like-
understand. I do
So-
not understand.
Let me say this. For me, and this is a wild ass conspiracy theory. I think it goes back to some people didn't fuck with Sesame Street and didn't fuck with some of those like PBS like basic 3-year-old, 4-year-old. Here's some lessons type of like programming in terms of, hey, you need to wash your hands. Hey, you need to wash your legs. You need to wash your fucking ass. Hey, like even if you're just pissing, wash your fucking hands. Wash your fucking hands all the goddamn time. I remember that shit from fucking Sesame Street and all that other stuff. I think like some people just don't fuck with that. Either they didn't pay attention, they don't watch it, they think it's not for them. And then it literally leads to adulthood and people taking giant fucking shits in public bathrooms and leaving without
like
water, water touching the
no
fucking-
water, not even a hand towel just to wipe like dookie flakes or anything off their hands. They just go straight to the door. I'm like, dude, did you see what I just saw? Like this dude just used a stall. I heard him like almost have a fucking hernia, and then he just walked out the front door. He walks by 3 sinks. There are 3 fucking sinks with a fucking blow dryer, soap, and fucking blow drying, and a fucking hand towel. All that fucking skipped.
Yeah.
And he went back to his plate of food. Like that's fucking weird. To me. That's
And then
fucking weird as fuck.
it's the
to
same
me.
dudes that talk about, COVID definitely came from China. And it's like, they're so gross in China. They're so disgusting. It's just like, but you didn't wash your hands after taking a shit, bro. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
come on now,
or
man.
piss. Even
yeah.
the piss. I even say like even if you piss like you, especially if you have fucking pubic lice, or if you have some kind of like fucking shit,
This.
you should wash your
Also,
fucking
also
hands.
known as crabs.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you should wash your fucking hands. You should wash your hands technically, especially during COVID. They were saying like if you touch your face, you had to wash your fucking hands. And like I was all about that shit. I was wearing gloves and shit, but like I
Yeah.
was amazed at how many people just willy-nilly like pick their nose, not wipe their ass, and just fucking go back to their plate of food.
Let's be fair too, because we've talked about some of the gross ass guys. I've seen women on podcasts too talk about not fucking washing their hands after pissing.
Mhm.
I've seen that, and I thought, oh, this is just some prank or whatever. Nah, they were dead ass fucking serious and shit. There's people that are just fucking disgusting. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Actually, probably 150%. And it's just like, it's just weird to me. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, how do you like? Even if you think that you're clean, you could have accidentally did some shit.
Well-
It doesn't hurt to just check, and it doesn't take that long. 30 seconds. 30 seconds with warm water. Actually, you should use hot water.
Let me tell you one other quick nasty ass fucking shit, and I'm talking to you pet owners for a quick second. God damn it, your fucking cat or your goddamn dog doesn't belong on the fucking kitchen counters. That's why I don't eat that fucking potluck food. You ain't got no fucking hygiene in your goddamn house.
Oh my god! So this is like, it's funny because like I was typing to Patrick earlier about seafood Jackie, because it's like she's like, it's pretty hot, but then like she had a video. So basically she makes a video about like her making food and stuff. And like the last video, I was like, she's not perfect anymore, because literally in the video she's making mac and cheese, and she's got a cat, and the cat jumped up on the fucking countertop, and as she's making mac and cheese, she was like mixing up the cheese that she just grated, and the cat ate some of the cheese. I'm like, oh, you gotta throw all that shit out. Like,
all of it.
Yeah, all of it, and wash the goddamn bowl. Like,
yes.
But no, none of that occurred.
Oh,
I was like, oh man,
dude,
like,
it gives me the fucking heebie-jeebies. I don't understand how you're not grossed out by this. I know it's your pet. I get it. I'm not disparaging your pet. It's not the pet's fault. It's your fault as a goddamn owner. The pet don't belong on the fucking kitchen counters or stovetop or eating fucking out of the plate or no. Fuck you. And then you try to serve it to other people or bring it to work. Fuck you. Prodigy said it loudly. You go to hell and you die.
I am not trying to get gondoplasmosis from your goddamn cat.
Oh my God.
And that's why I love cats so much, because you got a fucking parasite in your brain. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I'm sort of exaggerating, but also cats do have toxoplasmosis. This is not. Look it up if you don't believe me. You know, they give it to their owners. That's why I'm not a cat person. And if your cat is up on the fucking countertops, I'm not eating at your place, like, at all. I trust 0% of your fucking cooking. 0.
Yeah. We're doing takeout and we're not doing it in your house. How about that? Fuck you.
I said we're not doing it in your house.
Because here's the
God
thing.
dang.
I don't trust the silverware. I don't trust the cups. I don't trust the fucking napkins. I don't trust anything about your kitchen with that fucking animal in the kitchen. There is a reason why in restaurants. Now, again, you old ninja, fact check me. You can't have your motherfucking pet dog and parrot and cat and fucking lizard and shit in the fucking kitchen.
No, not in the kitchen. No.
Okay, there's a fucking reason.
And you know what gets me is people are like, oh, you don't like cats, but you like my cat. I'm just like,
fuck you.
No, there's a cat. Nope. Sorry.
And I don't think cats are like the worst thing on the planet. But yeah, I'm not a fan of them. And it's just they a lot of cat owners, I'm not gonna say all of them, a lot of cat owners let cats get away with like some really disgusting things in their house that I would like not put up with.
No.
So yeah.
Can't fucking do it. Can't fucking do it. Also, you know, I'm gonna say this. I know you guys have talked about it since way before even COVID and whatnot. In terms of hygiene and everything, we should be a bidet country, but we're not.
I was just talking about this with somebody I was just chatting with. Like, I have 2 bidets in my house. Like, I have no. this is where I'm at my point in life right now. If my ass cheeks touch a cold toilet seat, I get fucking angry.
Yep.
All right. It's irrational anger, but it's anger. All right.
Yep.
And people are just like, oh, why is it? I'm like, once you have a warm toilet seat all the time, like there's no going back.
It's more hygienic. That is a good thing to have happen on this planet. The other thing is, there are places on this globe that are more bidet, like bidets are everywhere, and they look down on folks that just are using toilet paper. They think you got a dirty booty, and you probably fucking do.
And these are places that, just for the record, that people call shithole countries that have bidets.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. Now, I will say, I've said it over and over and over again, they need to do a better job marketing for the Americans. And the way that you do that is you remind people, hey, look, Billy Bob, it is not going to anally rape you with water. That is not going to happen.
I mean, some of them can.
There is a setting.
So there are settings. Yeah,
there's a setting
settings.
if you need that.
Yeah.
But on accident,
Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to be. Yeah,
Wow.
Out of the box, you're not getting rotor-rooted.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
I think I hit the nail on the head. I think that's the fear. You know what I mean? You know, they think it's a super soaker of hot water going inside your asshole.
And it also it just shows just how homophobic
Oh my
America
God.
is. Like
Why?
if you watch porn and they're doing anal scenes, what do you think they're doing beforehand?
Oh yeah, they're prepping.
And this
They're
is like
prepping.
it's not nothing to do with like dudes. I'm just saying like all the women that you're seeing go doing those anal scenes, like it's Batman prep time.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're not just
It's not just
Anyway.
a few minutes. It's not just a few minutes though.
It's
Those
the- it's literally
ladies,
the day
they
before.
prep day before,
It's the
morning
day
before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's all kinds of prep. You know, shout out to the anal queens.
Oh my God. We took it there. Okay.
Anyway, that went a whole different direction. Well, actually, the
Yeah.
direction I
Yeah.
guess they're just gonna go in. So
Yeah, man. You know,
Yeah.
what are those alien tentacle dildos? You know, the big ones.
Oh, those are dragons.
Dragons.
yeah,
Yeah, bad dragon.
bad dragons. That's what
Thank-
it is. Yeah,
Thank you, Rick and Morty.
I still don't
Oh,
understand. I seen some these chicks just taking like I'm like, I mean, I guess obviously you can have babies, so
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you're
But-
just testing like the elasticity. I mean, it's like,
Maybe, I don't know.
ma'am.
When she makes one of those bad dragons disappear anally, though, you're just like, God damn.
that's a
You know what I
lot.
mean? It's like that Joker Dark Knight trick. You want to make a pencil disappear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pencil disappear. That's terrible.
And then when you're like sitting there doing like eye geometry, it's like you're not that tall.
Yeah.
Where did all that go? like how is this even possible?
You're
Like,
like,
what the fuck?
It's like you're standing next to the table. The table's almost up to your stomach. How does this work? What kind of devilry are you doing? What is this here?
Witchcraft. You know?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of witchcraft, or bringing it full circle, I finished South of Midnight today.
Oh,
Actually,
wait, hold on.
yeah.
Let me just rewind
Yeah.
just for a second. I just got to rewind. I want you to talk about South of Midnight,
yeah, go ahead.
but I just remembered about one of our first episodes that we had in this podcast, and we watched the one guy with the mason jar thing. Who the fuck was there who made us watch that shit?
That was Blue. Blue man.
Oh
watched that
my
shit.
God,
It's
that
one
was-
guy. One guy, one jar instead of two girls, one cup.
Yeah,
shit.
that
Forgot
was
about
that was traumatic.
That was
That was traumatic. So
That was
yeah,
some shit.
so if he can
They
do
can
that,
do
and hopefully the guy, I don't know how he survived that, but
He probably had to have anal reconstructive
reconstructive,
surgery,
yeah,
which apparently
that's
is
very
a
common.
fairly common thing. I keep thinking that people are trolling me, saying that it's fucking a common thing, and well, that can't be that
Well,
common. So
but-
then I meet a nurse at a very prominent hospital, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is actually very common for us." And
But-
and he has to deal with them while they're wrecked. They come into him wrecked, and he's got to get them partially prep them for surgery to get their shit fixed. Literally, I'm like, what the fuck?
Very important. Not always covered by your insurance. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it can be as common as you want it to be.
yeah.
If it ain't covered, you paying out of pocket in this country
Mm-hmm.
thousands, tens of thousands of
Tens of
dollars.
thousands.
So be careful. Just because it exists as a surgery does not mean that you get to have it.
Yeah, I think you know, if you want to get your balloon not reconstructed, I mean, there's fun, but sometimes there's you know, there's too much fun. So you gotta pay. Then you gotta pay for it. You know. But balloon not retribution. Yeah.
Ooh.
God damn. Yeah, we went balls deep on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did they. Anyway. Yeah, I finished out the midnight today. Fuck, and it's like it has that same kind of energy as Sinners,
Okay.
but just like no vampires. You're literally fighting Hanks
Yeah.
and dealing with people's trauma, and like fighting it like legitly, and you're using like the power of like um, dead slaves and hope to get through people's trauma and trying to save them. And you're like this small, basically the size of Bonton, and it was very. It's I understand like the complaints from a lot of people. It's not open world. It's very linear, but it feels open world isk. Like there's
Well,
like hidden paths and shit to get like
but
extra power ups and whatnot. But it's not like you can go back to like once you get to an area you can't go back. So
and it's third person beat 'em up or
it's a third person like yeah, it's kind of like it's like a Souls like kind of comment. Like I say light, not like.
okay.
It's like kind of Souls, Dark Souls kind of thing. Because every time you fight people, you're in a small arena, and you're always
Okay.
outnumbered, like I said before. And the enemies just get bigger as you fight, and then like the boss battles, those are where it really shines. You have these boss battles that are like large in life fucking creatures that you got to like get their little the little sore spot, and it's weird because you may not know how to get to their soft spot. I mean, I think the game updated to let you know like where to hit their little weak point, but you get fucked up very quickly trying to fight this like larger than life boss. It's very crazy because like the theme of the game is like super Creole, magic without the voodoo. It's like a different version of magic because they
Well,
don't talk about voodoo at all, but
there,
they do have like what were you gonna ask?
I was just gonna say, because sometimes this is like nails on a chalkboard for some people. There's a difference between voodoo and hoodoo.
Oh
Those,
yeah. So
okay.
they don't use either of those. They use what they
Okay.
call weaving, where you
Okay.
use like they have this whole new power where apparently for centuries there are those who have like this um connection to this like old flowing power and they can tap into it and use these like abilities. They use like these artifacts
Who,
where they can like take out Hanks and shit. It's pretty
who's this?
insane. It's pretty visceral.
Who's the studio? This is an indie game? It sounds like.
It's not. I don't think it's indie game. It's like it feels like a AAA game because this has a huge production. So like when you're playing through the game, there's like a lot of original music in the game. Like
Oh,
I'm talking like really like different kind of Creole kind of like sound. So it's like there's like blues, rock, gospel a little bit thrown in there, and it's like it feels like something that we've missed in a lot of like storytelling,
hmm.
where like American folklore. There's not. I feel like a lot of that's been lost in the last half of the last century, and then currently in this first quarter century. It delves deep into um, American South folklore, but it doesn't like get super. It doesn't get preachy. It doesn't get all like these people bad. It focuses on community. Like the people in the town, they know each other. They're trying to take care of each other, but it's very personal for the main character. Her name is Hazel. She's trying to find her mom, so
Hmm.
it's very personal for her. But she's also helping people in her community.
Are
So
you
then
fighting them? Or are you using magic? What are you using to?
both you're using
Okay.
your magic to fight and to clear like trauma from the area. They don't call it trauma; they call it something else. I forgot what it's called, but you're trying to clean the area by fighting people's trauma. And there's some really kind of fucked up stories that go in there. We're talking like dead children, people that kill their siblings just to get ahead. Like, and people didn't know about it except for the earth, except for the area, except for the swamp. Like, you have to go in, and you have a narrator who's a giant catfish who talks to you about the pain of the land and the things that people done wrong. Even people that you feel, that characters that you find that are like helping the community, they have like a dark past too, or a secret past that they hide from everybody. You got to go into it and like deal with their pain or help them get over their pain. So it's like very interesting to me that they did this, that they took this route. I know that with all the whole DEI and the whole like woke kind of stuff, it doesn't feel like that for this game. But I know people that are looking at it are going to say those kind of things without really diving into it and realizing this is our culture as you know, as Americans. This is, I know that it's particularly aimed at the South, especially Louisiana, because it's set there. But it's like it feels like you're playing like if someone retold the Paul Bunyan stories or like, um, was it Henry Jones' story? Like this is told like with a new kind of fairy tale kind of thing. It was really interesting with these weird like fucking folk songs while you're fighting fucking a battle. It's like very interesting to me. So I was really digging this game.
Like 15 to 20 hour kind of campaign, or what are we talking about?
It's like a 30 35
Okay,
campaign.
that's a good.
Yeah, because it's a pretty long fucking game. Like I put in some time in it, and I was playing it every day. So you can watch my streams on our Twitch channel. Like I was putting like 2-3 hours per day just getting through, and like there's like 14 chapters. Like they're pretty long. There's one chapter where you got to figure your way out. Like you can end up going back to the same place, because like they try to force you to go somewhere, but if you try to go up the path, you get like warped back. So it can be kind of confusing, but still,
invisible
it's like
walls. It's okay though.
No, it's a fog. It's a fog that like zaps you back.
That's an
That's
invisible
an invisible wall.
I mean, but you like the character makes note like, oh, like I'm going, something must be wrong, shit like that. I mean, I was really involved in this
Ninja,
game.
what
I
you're
really liked the
explaining
story.
is still an invisible wall.
Yeah,
I just want to
so
be clear. If you can't go somewhere, no matter how they explain it.
yeah, I was still like, I feel like it was unique how they addressed the invisible wall.
Okay.
There you go. Not unique.
They could
It's
also
not
just
unique, but
they
it's
could also
fun.
just put up actual fucking walls.
Nah, because you're supposed to get the feeling that you're lost. That's the whole point of that level at that one point, and you have to find your way through. So it works out
And
pretty
just
well.
put like shrubbery, things that look like you can't pass through it, not just like an open space.
So there is a lot of that too, and like it's cool because even though it's a single player game, you get like a companion that you can conjure up at almost any time. It's very interesting. It's pretty cool because he's like a little sock puppet kind of thing. It's pretty awesome. So
All right.
I really enjoyed this game. I didn't think I thought I'd be cool with it, but I was really more invested than I thought. And it was really weird because they talk about some very sensitive and really fucked up kind of topics in the game, but they handle it with care, I would say.
Let's wrap it because it's getting kind of late, at least for me.
Look at you in your fucking 40s and shit. It's all good. I'm tired too.
Yeah,
I didn't get my nap today.
Exactly.
I'm not on TRT.
What you got, old ninja, for this week? Let's get into.
So I've been watching some Warriors basketball. Looks like they lost today, so they're gonna be playing again.
Yep.
I think they're coming back home in 2 days, so I'll be watching some of that. Star Wars is ramping up big time. We didn't talk about any Andor. Andor dropped yesterday.
And last week.
There's gonna, yeah. Well, I've seen all. I literally finished it today. Star Wars Day is on Sunday. They're dropping a new series that day. Tales of the Underworld. Yeah, Tales of the Underworld, with a whole new story about Cad Bane and with Asajj Ventress. I'm all about that shit. They had the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith last week. I'm still trying to. I need to get the popcorn bucket. Hopefully, they didn't sell out. I think they sold out that. I plan on watching Thunderbolt sometime this weekend.
Is the popcorn bucket in the shape of a bad dragon, or?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you fuck the bucket? That's the.
I mean, you can. I mean, can't you fuck any bucket? To be honest,
if you're brave enough.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I think the real test is, can you fuck the Darth Vader helmet cup? That's the real test. It's $25 for the cup, but if you're gonna fuck it, I think that's real.
But how
real
much
dedication.
how much until completion though?
Yeah.
Does that extra?
That doesn't that vary? It varies.
Mhm.
Varies upon participant.
That balloon knot surgery is not getting paid for.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. God dang. So yeah, I'm watching
Oh, man.
Thunderbolts. I'm probably gonna watch Sinners again. I'm participating hugely in Star Wars Day. I actually bought this year because in the commemorative. So for those of you who are listening, this is a Sith jersey.
Nice.
Oh,
Vader
nice. That's fucking
and
cool.
so it says Sith on it, and this is 1970. It says 77 for the year that Star Wars came out. So it's an all black jersey with Vader and the Imperial symbol on it. I also have this one here. I don't like the color, but I got it because of symbolism. This is the Rebel Alliance
Nice.
jersey. It's brown. It's got the Rebel symbol, and it says Skywalker on the back. So I bought those two for Star Wars Day. So I'll be rocking these this weekend.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. It looks like this is going to be a big year for Star Wars. I mean, they announced a ton of shit at Celebration, so I'm going to be all about it come Sunday. It's also one of my closest friends' birthday that day, so I'm gonna be wilding out probably that day. So there you go.
I don't think you're gonna wild out. I think you'll be pretty measured, but it's all good.
Pass.
Oh, I found out there's a fucking Star Wars bar in downtown Campbell. I was there on Friday.
Nice.
Oh, no way.
Also,
Yeah.
I guess for the May 4th, there's going to be on BART, there's a special Star Wars train.
Oh, shit.
Fucking A.
So, yeah.
God dang it.
Yeah, you got to get tickets for it, though. So I don't know if it's still available. So, yeah.
Fuck BART. I mean,
Good shit.
I love BART. I'm just saying.
so yeah, we'll see. I might have to check that out, actually.
All right. Kronos, what you got?
What do I got? I don't know. What the fuck is going on in my life? I know I'm going to Colorado soon, like next month, for
Nice.
a corporate trip, which is gonna be weird because I haven't been to an actual office in more than 5 years.
Yeah.
And I haven't been to
Really?
and I haven't been to like in-person training in like a hot minute too. So
Aren't you required to visit your office like once or twice a year or some shit like that?
no, I'm a teleworker, 100%
Okay.
teleworker, and I've been a teleworker officially for a while now, but I've been working from home since like 2011. So this is like well before the pandemic, before it became cool. So like the transition for me was like not anything special. I already had a home office, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to the grief that my daughter's going to give me because I'll be gone for a couple of days when she's supposed to be with me. But I'll work it out. We'll do something special. Other than that, what else do I have going on? Not a lot. I know I need to take another vacation of some sort of soon. And I'm hoping good things happen soon. So hopefully in the next 2 months, I'll get some great news, and it hopefully will affect the podcast in the background of here because I'll get cooler shit, but I won't give it away too soon. But hopefully in the next 2 months, stuff should change for me dramatically. Hopefully.
So you plan on winning the lottery without telling us you're winning the lottery?
Not the
Okay, got
lottery,
it.
but the things that I've been owed for a while now, I should hopefully get in the next 2 months. So
Okay.
hopefully that. And also shout out to my brother. His birthday is on Friday. Yeah, Friday.
Okay.
And I don't know. We're probably not gonna hang out, but we need to hang out sometime soon. So yeah.
Got some things up. Good shit. God damn it, I'm still playing Monster Hunter. That's about all that I really, really got going on. Need to do some fucking yard work. Boring ass road man.
Hold on.
Yeah, you got kids, bro.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Hold on.
I'm gonna lead the efforts in terms of do this, get those weeds, mow that lawn.
So you're gonna be in the shade with your lemonade and sunglasses, be like,
It's a mint julep.
Oh
very
my
much.
god, damn!
damn.
He's out there growing cotton and shit with the fucking. He's wearing a white suit.
Yeah, with shades and the fucking sun hat on and shit.
Little Colonel Sanders kind of bow tie.
Oh my god!
Oh, man.
And Prodigy, why are you lying? Like you haven't been on Monster Hunter in a week. I'll be seeing.
So
We haven't even gamed.
what had happened. It was so.
Here we go.
Good and bad. My son finally started branching out away from Marvel Rivals and just said, "I like this game." And I was like, "That's great. When are you getting off of there?" Because
So he let you play. So, okay. because we haven't twitched out anything in a minute, but they just released new shit yesterday.
All right,
So-
I'll definitely get on there this week for sure. Probably maybe Friday night, probably some Saturday as well. So
Okay.
that's it.
Okay.
All right, take us on out, old ninja. God damn it.
All right. You just experienced Black and Black times Infinity, the
Jeez.
dankest podcast on the internet. If you didn't know, you can check us out anywhere and everywhere with Beathan BTI. That's BTANBTI. Anywhere you consume your podcast, just know we go live every Wednesday on YouTube and Twitch simultaneously at 8:30 Pacific-ish time. So you can tune in and join us during the podcast and be a part of the conversation because you can live chat with us. You can email us at beathanbti@gmail.com. We also have a Discord, and then you can check out our website if you want to see like exclusive stuff or stuff that we may have taken down and put somewhere else on our official website at benheadproductions.com.
Benheadproductions.squarespace.com.
Squarespace.com/beathanbti. There you go.
Sponsor
So,
that dragon.
Oh, yeah, you can see there's some old content there too, because some of y'all don't know we had a sister podcast.
We did. Which is, I guess, archived at this point because they had like their own
Yeah.
like channel. But I got them all, so
Yeah, there you go.
Peace.
you gotta press buttons. Hold on. Which one's that? There we go. Later.
Yet many questions remain unanswered.